Hey, we're about to start the show, and you know the drill. If you've been here before and you have something important to share, please add a capital letter Q to your comment. And if you are watching live for the first time, please let us know by writing the word new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. Enjoy the broadcast. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is a place for connections among ourselves as a community that speaks English and lives in Puerto Vallarta, connection with Mexico's culture, way of life, and of course, connections with the news from our city, state, and country. We love connections, the good connection kind. And if this sounds like something you would enjoy, hopefully, and I'm shaking my shimmy. I'm actually not, I'm just getting closer to the screen, trying to move my chair. Anyhow, if you're here for good connections, grab some coffee, get a view, get comfortable, because we don't have a lot of things to share today. It's funny. Well, actually, we do and we don't. We don't have a lot of interesting news, but I have a couple of interesting stories that I want to share with you today. It's funny how the news don't have predictability that way. Sometimes there's a lot of it, and sometimes not so much. Today is one of those days, but we have things to share as always, and we might as well get started with what we have. And that means I push this button and I tell you that our friends from Ecología y Conservación de Ballenas, which is a local nonprofit group, in English it would be called Whale Ecology and Conservation, they've been busy. Director Astrid Frisch has informed that over 4,000 whales have been registered in Banderas Bay over the past 2 decades. That's amazing. That's a lot of whales, if you ask me. The registry allows researchers to follow their movement through the ocean and also to determine areas of concern where the whales might encounter problems with fishing or recreational vessels. It is worth recalling that Banderas Bay is the most important mating destination in Mexico for humpback whales. If we've lived here long enough, we kind of take them for granted, but it is a unique privilege that we have here in Banderas Bay. I also have this other post that caught my attention. This is from Facebook, and it was posted by the Annex Studio and Gallery, the popular bookstore / coffee shop / art gallery located across from Plaza Lázaro Cárdenas in Colonia Emiliano Zapata, has announced that they have surplus books that they're looking to give away. Free books. And who can turn down a free book? So if you are in the neighborhood, give them a hand. Let us help the Annex Bookstore and Gallery alleviate their burden, and let's pick up some free books to start some reading. If you do, let me know what you found and why you picked it up. And now let us turn the weather on, which I haven't even turned on. Nice, Paco, nice. Here it is. Okay, the sun god is trying to hide behind those clouds because he owes me money. Oh, interesting. 26 degrees right now. Humidity is at 64%, and our weather forecast for today says we're going to have a humid day with mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, a high of 29 and a low of 18. Then tomorrow, Friday, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with mostly clear skies in the afternoon, a high of 29 and a low of 19. And then Saturday, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with clear skies in the afternoon once again, a high of 28 and a low of 19. And of course, it's a good thing that I've been doing some mini features ahead of time. Yesterday, we touched base briefly on Cinco de Mayo and how Cinco de Mayo really doesn't do a lot for us here in Mexico. It's not something that we celebrate all that much or at all. And it is always kind of amusing that, a lot of people will say down here, Happy Cinco de Mayo or Cinco de Mayo this and Cinco de Mayo that. And for us Mexican nationals, it really is not a big deal. So to celebrate the fact that we don't really care much about it, I put together this little something something which I hope you will enjoy. Take a look. Did you know that the Mexican celebration of Cinco de Mayo is no big deal for us Mexican nationals? Cinco de Mayo, or 5th of May, is often celebrated with vibrant festivities and cultural events in the United States, but its significance in Mexico differs from its portrayal abroad. While Cinco de Mayo commemorates the Mexican victory over the French at the Battle of Puebla in 1862, it is not as widely celebrated in Mexico as it is in the United States. In Mexico, Cinco de Mayo is primarily observed in the state of Puebla, where the battle took place, and it is marked with local parades, reenactments, and historical exhibitions. However, it is not a national holiday in Mexico, and outside of Puebla, it is typically just a regular day of work and school. The heightened significance of Cinco de Mayo in the United States can be attributed to various factors, including the influence of Mexican-American communities seeking to celebrate their heritage, marketing campaigns by beer companies, and the general appeal of Mexican culture. As a result, Cinco de Mayo has evolved into a popular celebration of Mexican food, music, and traditions across the United States, often featuring festivals, parties, and gatherings. It is important to recognize that while Cinco de Mayo may be a major cultural event in the United States, its significance in Mexico is more subdued, with many Mexicans viewing it as a regional rather than a national observance. Understanding this distinction helps to appreciate the diversity and complexity of cultural celebrations across different countries and communities. If you enjoyed this feature, make sure to tune in to Coffee and Headlines. Hold on. Why did that not stop? It's still playing. There you go. You don't need the commercial because you're already here. But I put that together, and I'm going to probably publish it out on Saturday or Friday. That'll be my little social contribution or my cultural contribution to the Facebook page this week. Moving right along, I do want to let you know that some of you watched the Spotlight yesterday afternoon. It was so much fun. It is starting to resemble what I'd like it to become because we had great guests and we had great audience. We had AJ and ZZ from a local band called The Pleasant Uprising. As I mentioned yesterday, they came in to promote their gig this coming Saturday at Mayrel's bookstore in Plaza Parota, not far from Costco and La Comer. Oh, maybe I'll stop by today and check it out because I've never been there. Anyhow, and it's so funny because 3 minutes before the broadcast, I get this text message from Gary Green from the Amapas Neighborhood Association. He's like, I hope you got my message. I have a last minute intention to join the broadcast, and I had not received his message, but I was happy to be able to plug him in immediately. And of course, Gary gave us a nice reminder of this event that they have going on today. It's a Meet the Artist, where we're going to be able to meet Tamale Ringwald. That's his nom de plume. And this is the artist who has been responsible, he and his team, for painting the beautiful Amapas staircases that the Amapas Neighborhood Association has been sponsoring. So there's a meet and greet today from 4 to 6. We mentioned this before. Gary also mentioned a couple of other happenings. One more happening, and I'm going to wait to see a Facebook event published by them so that we can promote it. We love supporting the Amapas Neighborhood Association because they do so many wonderful things for our community. And if I recall, the other event has to do with cleaning. And it doesn't sound like fun, but trust me, it must be fun because a lot of volunteers get together and do this. And Gary mentioned something fascinating to me just yesterday for a reason that I'm going to keep to myself because I'm going to have a surprise sometime soon. Yesterday, I was talking to some friends about just how many people actually stick around and how many people take off from Puerto Vallarta during the summer. And given the fact that the website Buy Me a Coffee has a new survey function, I asked all members yesterday on a survey, if you have plans to stick around through the summer, if you live here full time, or if you're going to, that is, I'll get to that in a second, Gary Green, but that's really funny. Anyhow, yesterday we were talking about, just how many people stick around. And I had a question for Gary, a philosophical question. I said to him, how do we deal with this perception that Puerto Vallarta dies, or we all go to sleep or go into a coma or something? There's nothing to do, nowhere to go because it's summertime, which is not true. So many of us stick around during the summer months. And Gary told me something that I did not expect to hear. And I loved it. He said, our summer events are the most successful, most well attended. So you don't fool me, local English speaking locals. I know you're out there. So if we plan, and I mean not only coffee and headlines, but if people out there are planning things during the summertime, just give up your air conditioning comfort for a few hours and go out and support the neighborhood and whatever is going on out there to the best of your ability. And that's just a nice little wish from Luna and myself. Again, this is happening today from 4 to 6, and hope you have a good attendance, Gary. And of course, the next episode of The Spotlight is going to be this coming Wednesday. Right after the broadcast, I'll publish the new events and the new watch page links for those of you that wish to watch, and of course the new registration link for anyone that is planning an upcoming event and wishes to tell us about it. Also on my plate, of course, is preparations for my next music appreciation presentation in person, and this will be on Thursday, May 9. I've gathered funny classical music bits, and there's more than you imagine. We're going to go through this all. We're going to feature on the wonderful Carnival of the Animals, which is a classical piece by Camille Saint-Saëns, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But we will also have some YouTube fails and comedians that specialize in classical music, which there are a few out there that are really, really funny. And of course, I'm going to be working on the flopped Great Mexican Songs presentation, which I'm still recording, but it should be ready this week. And that brings me to the Chitchat. And I pushed the wrong button. There you go. That's the button that I wanted to push. And now let's find out exactly what you are up to this morning. Purim pam pum pam pum. Dan, I kind of read yesterday that you're leaving soon. What is your actual departure date? You guys that leave, it's like it's fun to become friends with those that leave because you have someone to look forward to returning to Puerto Vallarta. But this time of year, when I see some of my friends starting to pack their bags, I get a little blue. Lots of good mornings. Deb says, finally here, but damn, that trip was exhausting, getting old. I hear you. Hang on. That felt good. Anyhow, Sherry says, hi, Paco. Thanks for the spotlight interviews yesterday. I really enjoyed them. I'm glad that you did. Every time I say your name, Sherry, I wake up my Apple devices because they think I'm saying the SIRI word, which is really funny. Anyhow, many hellos, many hellos, many hellos. Cinco de Mayo is just another drinking day. I know. Who needs a special day to drink? I don't need an excuse. Let's see what else. Albert, I have no words. You were so much fun to spend time with this time around. I love watching you immerse yourself in the English speaking local mindset, and I admire your curiosity of Mexico. You went on excellent trips. You went to Oaxaca, you went to Guadalajara, you went places. It is amazing. Let's see what we have. Do Mexican people in the United States feel it is more important to celebrate Cinco de Mayo? You know, Sherry, I think I don't have an accurate answer for you. There are people I could be wrong, but I think there are people that are from Mexican descent that live in the United States and have held on to Cinco de Mayo as a way to celebrate their identity. But I'm not keeping track of how people feel about Mexican celebrations elsewhere. I keep track of Cinco de Mayo because I am bombarded with happy Cinco de Mayo wishes, and I'm like, what? Who? What? So I hope that was good. I hope that was helpful anyway. And Gary says, did you hear the one about the baker that got churros for Cinco de Mayo? They were just what he needed. I tell you. I don't know, maybe your surgery changed your sense of humor. No, I'm just kidding, Gary. It was great to see you on the spotlight yesterday. You know, it's great to see you whenever you choose to come back. Let's see. The spotlight was fun yesterday. I checked out the website for the Pleasant Uprising. It's going to be a rainy weekend, so we'll check out the live stream of the band's concert on Saturday. That is correct. If I recall, they are planning to broadcast live their performance on Saturday afternoon, so that should be fun. Oh, good. So we have a couple of days to hug each other goodbye. This is great to hear, Dan, but I know that you're probably packing and going nuts. Let's see. Andrea, that's the spirit. I look forward to hanging out with folks this summer. I hope you mean with folks here in Puerto Vallarta. We're working on a little something, and I'll let you know what it is in a matter of days. Let's see what else. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Every time my USA friends say Happy Cinco de Mayo, I roll my eyes like the lady you show rolling her eyes. Isn't she wonderful? Where did she go? There she is. Seriously. Anyhow, we love our eye roller. Let's see. Sherry adds, it does make sense that if Mexican families live in the States, they want to hang on to some traditions, as you say. Oh, totally. Totally. I know that when I lived in the United States, I found ways to continue to celebrate my origins. And here we are. And Andrea confirms, yes, here. Yes. Here's to those of us that live here year around. That's all I'm going to say. And with that, I think we come to the end of today's broadcast. It is a shopping day. Costco and La Comer for me today. Maybe I'll bump into you. I usually bump into you out there, and it's always a pleasure to bump into you. So I'm going to take care of that. Oh, I'm going to go visit a dear friend that just had surgery. I made a special gift for him that is very, very apropos for his recovery. And of course, we'll be back here tomorrow morning. I hope you have an excellent day. And I hope the people that drive their shopping carts funny are not out at Costco today. Have a good one.